from the United States military intervention overseas. Saddam was building one of the largest artillery pieces in human history to launch artillery shells at Israel. And everybody knows how he did business, with his meeting where he didn't have to say you're fired. He just lit a cigar, said their names, and then they were let out and executed. I didn't know that we had this huge legacy of, basically being at war with Iran. And I guess, since the Ayatollah taking over and the hostages and the embassy, we have been, and they've been kind of lurking in the shadow. But even behind Iran, we have Russia. And Russia is providing the intelligence and the targeting and selling plenty of weapon systems to Iran. So all.
And China.
And China as well. So all I want to say basically is that the people on here who can't accept, basically Pepe and others. Pepe is so vulgar and so crude and so obnoxious the way he throws the J word around. It is so obnoxious. But the truth is, the real politic is always the real truth. Kamala lost because, thank God, Donnie, it was like a miracle. He didn't know if he was going to win for sure. But what I'm trying to say is, when you get to this level, it's not 2-face, 3-face, 4. It's like 5-face, 6-face, 7-face, 8-face, 9-face, 10-face. And a lot of this is legacy shit with George H.W. Bush. And, we are a republic, or this representative republic, constitutional, and a democracy, so to speak. But see, because of AIPAC and because of American Jewry and Israeli Jewry and European Jewry, etc., and the influence via AIPAC, if you have the money, well, guess what? You buy influence in this country because we are a republic, and the highest bidder wins. So when Nigeria comes to the table with all their oil, or Spain or Italy or Germany or any country starts lobbying in an organized fashion, in the way that AIPAC does it, and they want to compete with that influence, well, guess what? They have that opportunity to compete in the marketplace of influence. And so what we have here on Clubhouse is a bunch of anti-Semitic, Jew-hating, racist, neo-Nazi scumbags like Pepe, who probably hasn't made love to a woman in years, which he's admitted, doesn't go to the gym in years. But it's neither here nor there to insult people. It's really just pointing out that they project the way they want to see the world, but they just can't see the real politic of the situation because maybe it's too much information for them to essentially process it all, because they're living either in a specific time period and they're not able to take 100 years of history and smush it into their brain. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the Ayatollah and the entire executive command of this massive country with all these people have been taken out, and Trump had the balls in a Godfather style fashion at 2:30 in the morning coming online saying, surprise everybody, wake up and take control of your government. Like, you gotta understand that this is like a chess game. It's not tic-tac-toe or checkers. It is a gotcha moment. And this is how you win wars, by the element of surprise. And it's either kill or be killed. And Israel plays a vital linchpin or a bridge, basically, to the middle kingdom, or the Middle East, for our sake. And the energy is that important. And our relationship with the Saudis goes back a long time. Aramco was a joint venture corporation, and we train with the Saudis. We prepare the Saudis for war, and we're friendly with the Saudis because we know who butters our bread. And unfortunately, the Iranians, they didn't buy enough influence to overcome what came their way. And they could have, maybe, if they didn't have their heads so far up their ass, and maybe they wanted to spend a little more time getting to know us, and maybe making sure that this shit didn't go down for them. They got it when they had the CIA boy Obama and Brennan and others there who were willing to arm them, fund them, promote them. And, thank God we have Donald Trump, but there's no going back anymore. Pandora's box has been opened, and because of 9/11 and this War Powers Act, etc., Trump feels that he can do this because Bush did it. Everybody else seems to do it. Maybe they had a vote, but either way, all I'm trying to say is that the real politic is just not pretty. It's not nice. You're not going to like it. It's really two-faced, a lot of history in there compressed. And unfortunately, because of freedom of speech, you have to listen to these vulgar, profane, disgusting people who want to make racist, slanderous remarks against a bunch of people who have nothing to even do with politics. So it's all inflation. If it's not Jews, there's no news, and that's how people roll because they're fucking losers. And that's my opinion of losers like that. Hope you're not one of those losers because that would make you stupid.
I think Pepe's playing a role. I don't think he's as much of a racist and anti-Semite and white, and although I don't think he's as much as he pretends to be. I think there's a core of reachability in him. I've come to, he and I have reached a sort of an understanding, I feel like. Years, I guess we call you John or Strength here. What should we call you? Years to grow your understanding of geopolitics, of global politics, and you have to be able to understand like the on the ground as well as the 30,000 foot view. So we have to understand that China is growing rapidly, militarily and economically, and we have to sort of stake our claim and defend ourselves preemptively against China. Venezuela was a Chinese asset as well as being an Iranian asset. Iran is a Chinese asset, and we had to get it into our camp. That's what we had to do. It's just like the Cold War, and I should show you, out that we won the Cold War because of our American things. And, you can call it imperialism if you want, but what we really do is we defend freedom. It's like the opposite of imperialism. We conquered Japan. We didn't make them have an American government. Japan has its own government. We conquered Germany. We cut it in half. We didn't make them have an American government. They're Europeans. We support places like South Korea. We beat back the North Koreans, and we let South Korea be South Korea. We let Singapore be Singapore. We don't force religion on them. We don't hang them and slaughter them by the millions. So we're a good global cop, and that's our job. If we like all of our abundance, I mean, we're the richest society, I think, in human history. You could find, Scandinavia, parts of Scandinavia do well because they don't have to spend money on defense, and they have oil in their little pocket, and they're all white people, by the way. They might have a slightly, I don't know what to say, a slightly more stable or elevated lifestyle. They have, subsidized health care or whatever. But in terms of overall, our culture, our film, our tech culture, our innovation, our cars, our wide open spaces, there's nothing like America. And we probably don't appreciate it sufficiently. We are living like in blessed biblical times.
And one thing, I'll go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to add in kind of a point you just stated that, and it kind of made me think of a personal sense I have. One thing I hate is when like people compare mono-ethnic states or ethno-states to like diverse places like America. I'm like, you can't do that without using nuance. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like, oh, like you just mentioned, what was it, like Finland or some shit? What'd you say? It was one of them countries that's like super white, majority white.
Well, I said Scandinavia, but Norway, Sweden, Finland.
The whitest of white places, like where everyone's white, and they'll be like, see how they doing over there? Why can't we do that? I'm like, well, our society gonna be worried about other shit because we have a million different tribes, so to speak, fighting for top spot. So we can't focus on certain shit like they can. You dig what I'm saying? Like that, yeah. And people ignore that very important thing all the time, but they claim to be so smart and just skip over that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, they're not doing that well either, and that's what they're doing is based on what we say for them. So because they didn't have to spend on their defenses. Basically, we're being their guard dogs, and so you can save those expenses, very expensive expenses, to do what to have long vacations and all the welfares. Yeah, they're riding on our coattails.
And I was gonna say this too. That leads to
Just 1 second, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, Hanson, you're absolutely right. They're absolutely riding on our coattails. They would have been bankrupt a long time. I want you to go look at the GDP of Germany, the big dog in the European Union. Look at it, post-COVID. It's horrendous. I want you, people want to talk about Trump's approval rating. I want you to go look up the various European leaders and their approval ratings, how low they are, and like how they've created these societies that's untenable with their, their super unionization and all of this nonsense, man. It's just like,
going on vacation half of the year.
Half the year, man. Half the year, bro. And it's like, ultimately the United States is subsidizing them. And F NATO. We don't even need NATO. Honestly, like, I understand there's some people here that can't stand Israel, but Israel's been a reliable ally. People don't even understand the amount of intelligence that we get from Israel, the amount of stuff that Israel, puts us like, the amount of information that they provide us with that's critical to us maintaining our freedom and staying ahead. But it's okay though. The people that need to know. Obama didn't appreciate Israel, and we see how that worked out for him. Friggin' Kamala, she wanted to minimize Israel and wanted to go with the sisterhood and what's her name? The Spanish, the Puerto Rican chick from, what's the AOC?
AOC.
Yeah, AOC and Ilhan
And Mondani.
White supremacy so bad with their white husband.
It's just a mess, man. It's just a mess. I will ride with Israel 110%. I have no issue with them whatsoever. I get it. One man's freedom fighters, another man's terrorists, all that's good. But, I know what side I'm on. I know where my brother's butted. I'm good.
And why do people act like offensive, right? I'm going to just throw this. Isn't Kamala's husband Jewish?
He's one of those fake, self-hating Jews. It's okay.
Like, why do people act for I don't even want to go down that road, but I was gonna say, yeah, man. So another thing that kind of like, first off, Anthony, I'll be in a lot of rooms you be in, bro. You be speaking that real. I just want to add that in there, man. Like, I'm gonna give you your props ahead of time, bro. Like straight up. So, but back to what I was gonna say. One thing I hate is when Americans will be like, "Why are we going around the world policing?" And to myself, I'm thinking like, would y'all rather be someone else? Like, if my team is leading the fucking playoffs and is the number one seed, why the fuck would I be mad? Should we be the 6th seed? Should we be like, I don't get that. If your team is number one, shut up and just like my thing is this: people don't view the world for what it is. They like the world is this, bro. Everyone's playing for keeps. If your team has that top spot where people envy them, be like, it is what it is because somebody's gonna do it. Like, it's never gonna be just all the world, we're gonna stay equal and we're gonna come to this decisions, and this ain't Captain Planet, bro. Everyone, if it's not us, it's gonna be somebody else.
But right, I remember October 7th, the day October 7th happened, I was like, this is going to end up with Iran getting fucking flattened because when October 7th happened and all those retard and the scumbags were celebrating across the world and they were saying in Australia like gas the Jews and everything else like that, I was like, this is gonna end up with Iran getting fucking flattened. I have never seen a Jew in 2,000 years. I am so glad that I'm alive to see the Jewish winning again. Benjamin Netanyahu is like the modern day King fucking David. He's deleting enemies and he's deleting terrorists like a Jew hasn't deleted them for like 2,000 years. Bro, this motherfucker was like, oh, Hezbollah dead. Iran fucking dead. He was just like, all the enemies, Yahya Sinwar fucking dead. He's killing all his enemies. This guy is like a modern day, like, fucking fucks. I don't know what even to call it. He's winning left and right, and this is why people don't. This is why people don't like it. They've never seen Joshua winning. BP is winning, and the way he's killing that terrorism and deleting the enemies is so grateful. And right now in Iran, all the Iranian enemies are all dead. You elect the new supreme leader, dead. You elect the new leader in Hezbollah, fucking dead. You elect the new leader in the West Bank, fucking dead. You elect a new leader in Gaza, dead. You elect a new leader in fucking wherever you elect them, fucking dead. It's terrible. But Bibi is killing out all his enemies. And I'm here for it because his enemies are my enemies. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It won't be for long if he continues doing.
Yeah, it will be for long.
There's a shift.
What are they gonna do? Are they gonna say?
It'll be till
I
we're
didn't-
finished. It'll be till we're finished.
I didn't interrupt you. Do you have to talk right now? Well, okay, go ahead. You
Actually,
finish.
you spoke over a clip, but nobody cared.
No, I didn't. There was
You
a
did.
silence,
You just cut
Elmore.
me off.
No?
Love, I didn't
Okay.
even say anything. I didn't even say anything, love. BP is on a generational run. Like King David was doing a generational run. Like this motherfucker, he attacked him on Ramadan. He attacked him on Purim. And you know why he attacked him on Ramadan? Because these sons of bitches attacked him on Stimra Torah. You know? They were like, oh, you can't attack them on like Ramadan. I'm like, what do you think October 7th was? Stimra Torah. They attacked them on the same day. I am so glad that the Jewish people are finally winning after 2,500 years. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. All the haters can cry about it. I don't give a damn. But it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And the IDF is killing the enemies. It's killing all the enemies. It's a great, great thing. And the United States with them, armed with them. Everybody's with them. And yeah, people, haters of Jews, haters of Israel can cry about it. The Iranian people love it. You see the Iranian people doing the YMCA dance all over the streets. The Iranian people love it too.
I want to say one thing.
And it's a great, great thing.
So the people of
Oh,
Iran
check
are
your
actually
co-op,
trying,
man.
you
You're
know.
awesome.
So
They attack
I was-
Israel on Simchat Torah. So when people say, like, oh, you know, you attacked them on Ramadan, fuck Ramadan. You attack them on Simchat Torah.
Spin it. Pass the mic around real quick. Let's get some other insights. You know what I'm saying? Was it L? Was you talking?
no,
I just did this check
What's
until
up,
awesome.
bro?
Mr.
Oh,
Mr.
no.
HHH.
It's good
Mr.
to see you,
HHH.
bro. No.
Okay, check.
Achik, hang on. Listen to something that I have to say as well. So as much as other parts of the country and Iranians are everywhere are celebrating, actually, I actually sent a room to Sarah because I was not able to track all of the conversations these guys were talking. And of course, these are IRGC people, right? They were saying how we need to lock down the city and have nobody escape from the city. So the people of what's exactly happening now is they've blocked. So people in Tehran who want to be safe and get out of the bombing area, they're not able to do that. And these guys anybody who's trying to escape are shooting the people and killing more people there. So that's what is exactly happening now in Iran. So people who want to escape from Tehran and want to be safe, the IRGC or whatever the opposition government who wants to have the control of the regime, they were actually hosting a room. I invited Sarah to join and actually listen because I mean I understand Farsi a little bit, but I don't understand too much. But they were saying something about how we need to lock down, how we can stay intact and protect their people, and anybody who is opposing them, we need to fucking do some shit like that, dude. It's not a success. I mean, it can be a success to United States and Israel because we're accomplishing what we want, but at the same time, there are a lot of people dying over there who doesn't deserve to be dead. You know, that's all I'm saying, bro. It's not a time for celebration. There are a lot of people dying. People who don't want to be part of this are dying. And I feel bad about it.
It's been 47 years of pure terrorism and death and everything else like that. People are getting out of the way. They've told them that when they will realize to come out and protest and everything, it's when the Shah, His Majesty the King, will tell them to go out and protest. But right now, it's like, it's not a time to do. It's terrible, you know?
No, it's not about protesting, bro. It's not about protesting. It's about being safe.
When you were talking, I didn't speak. When you were talking, I didn't speak. When the Shah, His Majesty the King, tells them to go out, they will go out, they'll go protest and everything else like that. But right now, it's not the time to do. Bombs are dropping everywhere. Yeah, B-1, B-2, B-52s, stratosphere bombers, F-22 pilots, F-35. You have the whole shebang.
Agent, do you even understand what I just said? I'm not denying that. But the Majesty, what the Majesty is going to do, he's going to say stay inside. But then people are not safe inside when the bombs are constantly dropping. So without boots on the ground, without some other external help, people
my brother, it's going to take some time, bro. It's been 47 years of literal terrorism. You know, like, if a stray bomb lands there, if a stray bomb lands somewhere else, like, how the hell is that America's problem? They've been asking for this. The Shah of Iran has asked for this. The people of Iran have asked for this. If you look at Goldie Space, Goldie, one of my good friends from Canada, Arvin, one of the best ones too, Skull, by the way, I kept asking the question, do you know Goldie, Skull?
Yeah, she was part of the parliament.
Yeah, she's one of the best. I've been talking to Goldie for the last 2 years. You know what I asked her? You know what I asked her?
I understand. Everybody asks for it.
Wait a second, my bro. You know what I asked Goldie? I said, why do you want the U.S. Armed Forces to bomb Iran? And you know what she said to me? She said, it's what our king wants, and it's about time we get freedom. And we enjoy freedom, you know? It's a terrible thing to bomb another country, but she's been protesting. She was there on Saturday, and she was like, you know what? Americans are not trying to kill our people, you know? They're trying to kill the regime. It's a great, great thing. And I hope it works, and I hope it wins no matter what, because this is a terrible thing that's happening. But freedom is at hand. For the brave people of Iran, we love them very, very much. God bless you.
Bro, you still didn't answer my question as to how we need to handle this situation, knowing the fact they're doing the same thing what they did in Gaza. They're using innocent people to shield.
Don't talk about Gaza. Gaza is a different thing, bro. Gaza is full terrorism. Gaza is a terrible.
Bro, they're not letting people to move out of the place.
Don't come here and be like, oh, they're doing the same thing as they did in Gaza. Is such a horrible, horrible place.
You're so biased. You're so biased. You don't understand that he was actually supporting the argument. He was supporting and giving support. And you're so biased. And you're such a disgusting human being. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You're terrible. Your mind is a terrible place to be. The way that you can collectively condemn an entire people. Your brain is a terrible place. Listening to your death cult speak and the way that you speak death happily, that is what is horrible, right? At least Mr. HHH has some dignity in the things that he says. Thank you, by the way, Mr. HHH, for having some decency, some human decency, and being able to not go into this death cult like weird, sick, disgusting, whatever.
Damn.
Fucking HF is. You shut the fuck up. Don't
Well,
say anything.
I was gonna say that Achek actually.
I don't hear your stupid shit right now.
Well, he defended you. Achek defended you the other night and kicked me out of the room because I was making fun of you. So Achek.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You were making fun of me? Why were you making fun of me? What were you saying?
I was just talking about how you're gullible. And then he's like, I won't let my lady be insulted like that. And he kicked me for your honor. So Bima, be careful what you say about Achek. He's got your back.
You're disgusting.
But
You're an asshole. You're a fucking
problem
asshole.
still remains.
You're a fucking asshole too. Why am I even here? What the fuck am I
Guys,
doing after?
what are you?
I don't understand why you get so upset. Gaza, I don't care about Gaza, bro.
No, okay,
Gaza,
fine.
Gaza,
Forget about Gaza.
Mister,
What I'm trying to say is,
why do you bring up? You know what? I want to ask you a question. Why do you bring up? Why do you bring up Gaza? Why?
so the
If you
reason
listen to
why
him, he was
Gaza.
supporting you. He was supporting what you were saying.
I was supporting what you're saying.
No,
What
but
I'm
I'm
trying to
just
say
saying.
is
Put it out.
minimize laws. How we can minimize laws and deserve to be killed and not the innocent people is my question. And how we can do differently, given that we have already bombing the place, right? Now the regime is holding people hostage in the city where we are bombing, and we are not. What happened?
I thought it was me. Mr. HH, you're...
I think something happened to his phone. It has nothing to do with me. I don't remove people. I don't kick people. It's not my deal.
And it's a sensible question. It's a sensible question.
What is a sensible?
We didn't hear you.
What is
Mr. HH, we didn't hear anything but...
Nobody heard anything you said, bro. You were like quiet for like 20 seconds. Nobody heard anything. Nobody.
Because we're passionate of talking about how we're destroying it and we're accomplishing and succeeding in that direction. Yes, I'm not disagreeing with any of what you said, but what I'm trying to say is, and why I compared to Gaza is because Gaza also, they use the people over there as human shield, where innocent people were killed, and the same thing is happening. They know that we're bombing in the Tehran capital, and we know that we cannot kill innocent people, so they're trapping the people in the city and not allowing the people who want to escape the bombing area, so that the innocent people also die in the bombing, along with the other people who deserve to be killed. You know what I'm saying? So how do we do that? How do we do it more creatively is what I'm asking. So, I mean, we're talking about it. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, you can go ahead and tell whatever you want.
We can just blow it all up like we did Gaza. Or like Israel did Gaza.
Actually, Israel was actually nice to Gaza.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Gaza was a terrible place. They put bombs under schools, under hospitals, under mosques, under everywhere. You know, horrible country, horrible religion, horrible people, worst of the worst scum. And they just forced Israel to go in there. Grand-footed. Gaza was horrible. One of the worst of the worst. I can't imagine fighting in Gaza as a soldier. I fought in North Sudan as a soldier, and that was terrible.
But the very same
Let me
people
tell you
who
something,
want...
mister.
But the very same people who want Israel to help them are also getting killed is what I'm trying to say.
Let me tell you
It's two
something.
different things. It's two different
I get what you're saying.
small geographical area.
Let me tell you something about these terrorist people. You know, when I went to North Sudan and everything, I went to a mosque one day, and these women were like terrible, horrible. You know what I mean? And I was like, why the fuck am I here? And then underneath the ground, you know what they had? Fucking bombs. When I was 19 years of age, these people will put bombs everywhere. You really want to fight fairly? You're dealing with the scum of the earth, and you have people, terrible people like this, being like, oh, these are like, oh, protect the sites and everything else like that. You don't understand. You're dealing with fucking scum. You ask a single The second they went into a
do you know how many
they
people
were dealing with scum.
You know how many people in Iran are celebrating that US and Israel are actually taking
I don't think you need to talk. You need to talk to your veterans because the veterans will tell you these people put bombs fucking everywhere, bro. You have no idea.
I know what you're saying, but
I think he's asking how do we mitigate the good guys.
Yeah, just fucking blow it up, bro. Who gives a shit?
Acek is not fucking understanding a simple fucking question. He's pissing me off right now. I'm asking you a simple question. The very same people who want U.S. and Israel to attack are also getting killed, you idiot. So you need to understand the fucking question. How do we save the people? People are celebrating everywhere. Iran.
Mister, there's not an easy answer. It can't. If it gets into the streets, it's building to building. In the meantime, they're trying to kill the command so that they can all lay down their arms and essentially all just pacify, by killing the intelligence.
You just can bomb, bro. It's true. That is not.
Yeah, you can. And guess what? What the fuck do you think they're doing? This is total war. This is a war to end all wars. Trump is bringing the full fucking bear of all of our power, and it's gonna happen. Iran is changing.
What would be the right thing to do then? What would be the right thing to do?
I think the right thing to do is get boots on the ground. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that.
Don't set boots on the ground. That's a terrible idea. Don't send boots on the ground. I don't want American soldiers to die in fucking Iraq because
of course even I don't want to die. Of course I don't want to die.
Don't send boots on the ground. Just bomb them from the sky and the Iranian people will do the rest of the job. Do not send precious American
the very fucking Iranian people you're banking on are getting killed is what I'm saying.
No, but don't send precious
if the people that you're banking on to say that the rest of the people in Iran will take care of it, they're getting killed is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but they'll take care of it. But don't send American precious boys.
Who will take care of it?
The rest of the Iranian people, don't send American precious boys to die in a fucking war. Do not put boots on the ground. You have enough air power. You have enough stealth power. You have enough ammo, you have enough everything, to destroy the fuck out of these people.
Yeah, Mr. More people will get killed with boots on the ground due to friendly fire, crossfire, mistaken identity. Then you gotta call in airstrikes. All sorts of shit, all sorts of messy shit that happens when boots are on the ground. That might even be worse than dropping bombs.
Exactly, correct. 100% correct. Don't send American boys to die in fucking Iraq. There's 92 million Iranian people. They can fight for themselves. But the bombs there, you can do a lot with the bombs there. But do not send American boys to die in a terrible war like that. That'd be fucked up.
Well, what about Israel sending their troops?
They shouldn't send their troops too. That's a horrible thing too.
The way this is going right now, I don't think this is going to be a 5 to 6 week operation, bro. I know 2 days ago we were talking about it, how long it's going to take.
It's going to be done in like 5 weeks, bro.
I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. You mark my words. It's not going to happen in 5 to 6 weeks. It's going to go fucking longer. We're going to get to a point like where the midterms are going to come, where we don't know what to do. We're not going to have boots on the ground because obviously Congress is not going to approve it. And then we're going to be like, okay, this is what's going to happen. We're still continue to keep bombing. The death toll is going to go up. Then something is going to happen where we're going to just leave either, or we're going to say, Israel, you're going to be on your own. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. But I don't think Trump is going to be like sitting over there for more than 5 to 6 weeks. We either engage, we either go boots on the ground. Already there are some people on the ground, right? I mean, there are already people. We lost 7 soldiers over there, here and there. But I just don't know. This is not fucking Gaza kind of a shit, like where it's a small space. Fucking Iran is so huge. Iran is so fucking huge.
I know, but everything is concentrated. It's not spread out. And this isn't like the Dr. Evil total regime. I mean, they're pretty centralized. and they've got satellites that can view your fucking hair and your fingernails. There's nothing that they do that doesn't go unobserved. We bomb their. You know where the rockets are. There is nothing that we cannot touch. We have drones. We have aircraft carriers with rockets that can blow up anything. We have submarines. There is nothing that we can't do. And the fact that we have crossed the Rubicon, you're a schmuck. We are all in. You don't go mass kill a bunch of people unless you're all in. You're in it to win it. And Trump isn't the kind of guy who says, you know what, maybe it was a bad idea. No, he says double down, launch more, strike more. That's the kind of guy he is. These people that are running the country, they have to surrender. If they don't, they will be killed.
I know. And unfortunately, a lot of innocent people are also going to be killed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with what you just said. Yes, we have unlimited supply of ammunition and all that and all that and all that. But this is going to cost a lot of lives. Even the very same people who wanted Israel and U.S. to attack and waiting for the freedom so that they can live and move on with their lives, those people are also going to die is what I'm trying to fucking say. I don't know if you understand it, but whatever.
I understand your point.
Don't set the titty on the kitty if it looks so good. Would you think liberty was like, didn't cost a lot? He has told them to rise up, to take control like Bane in the football stadium. It's yours. Go ahead. No one will interfere. That's what Trump did. Trump became Bane at 2:30 in the morning and said, go ahead, people of Iran. It's your country. Take your government. That's what it was incredible. So, don't know what to tell you.
If Iranians over there are armed to the teeth like how American citizens are, where fucking we own our firearms, sure, we can do whatever the fuck we want. But they're not armed. So how are you going to fight a fucking armed person without having weapons on your own? They don't have any weapons to fight against their own people.
Well, the weapons will flow. If there's one thing that we know, there's enough weapons to give a weapon to everybody. If there's a will and a way to get them the weapons, and it's coming. Either the Kurds are going to come in or the aerial drop the weapons.
Now we're getting somewhere. So the creative solution that I was thinking about was, what if we fucking go give them like millions of firearms so that they can fight each other, and then so that our U.S. soldiers are not going and doing that.
Any of this sound familiar? Does anybody live close to does Y2K? Does any of this sound like the actual play from the actual playbook, just on repeat? Like, what? Where did we?
It's a field manual. This is the CIA Psychological Operations Field Manual.
Exactly this
What's it
before.
have to do with Y2K? I don't understand the Y2K reference.
Oh, just after 2020, born in the 21st century. If anyone's been here in the 21st century, because there's some people that.
Bima, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that is has already been.
And they weren't around 2003, but ultimately. And when you're a kid, you don't really get too involved in this type of stuff, so it's difficult to remember. So Y2K like an adult. If you're an adult and you knew, when Y2K hit, please, how could you be fooled?
Now, the big question is, would we be doing the same thing if Kamala Harris was the president? Meaning that, is it a plandemic, scamdemic? Meaning, was this war already on the books? And if there is sabotage or espionage, do the Israelis also have Kamala blackmailed? Because they would have to have her blackmailed as well, not just Donald Trump. So, the question is all of this just pre-programmed, pre-planned, and it doesn't matter who the president is? Because that's the real conspiracy. Is the CIA and is the military-industrial complex and the banking-industrial complex technically who really calls the fucking shots? Not the president, but there is a second or a third government, or really a primary government, which you could probably call the Federal Reserve. Because without the Federal Reserve being able to transfer infinite amounts of money to everybody on Wall Street who's involved in the war operation, none of this would be happening because nobody does nothing unless they get fucking paid. It's not patriotic, it's business.
I don't know if that's even worse.
You think the pandemic would have been possible? You think Pfizer's responsible for the pandemic? You think Fauci's responsible for the pandemic? Your Federal Reserve is responsible for your pandemic.
The Federal Reserve is so fucking terrible. Everybody gets taxed, and it's a horrible experience to go through. And I don't even like Anthony Fauci, but I think he's a horrible person. So bad, worst of the worst. But it's like people are like, oh, Israel is responsible for everything. Your dog dying is not because of Israel. Your cat dying is not because of Israel. Your sister dying is not because of Israel. So many people are just bad. They are bad things, The Jews are not responsible for everything in your life, it's just a terrible thing. People just lie and just sit there and be like, oh, well, yeah, Israel did something and everything else like that. They just don't like the Jews are winning since October 7th. October 7th was the worst fucking disaster these terrorists, Kosumkum, Islamic people ever did in their entire life. Everything else like that. And they've been winning ever since then. And right now, people cannot handle it. They cannot handle it. They're like, oh, we wanted to destroy them and everything else like that. But it's not happening. It's not happening. The Jews are winning. They're killing all the enemy.
9/11?
9/11 was so terrible. So bad. It's the worst of the worst, I can't even say that. 9/11 is obviously worse than October 7th, 9/11 was so terrible, so bad, So many Americans died. I love Americans. The best of the best people in the whole entire world. And that was so bad, But October 7th, years in a while, when he attacked the people that day, he thought he was going to do something great, but he fucked up. And right now, look what is happening in the entire world. 2 years ago, I remember I went to a protest, and these motherfuckers were like, oh, it's the end of the state of Israel. And I'm like, you bitches don't even know what you just unleashed. You're going to be dying. You're going to be dead in 2 years. Sinwar, fucking dead. Nasrallah, fucking dead. Khomeini, fucking dead. All the Kasumkum, fucking dead. It is the worst strategical mistake they ever did in their fucking lives. These people are so bad, people. Terrible. The worst of the West,
I mean, why is reality like this? Like, all of life is nothing but like perpetual war and murder and conflict and sabotage and espionage and honeypotting and spying. It's like, holy shit, maybe there's a communication problem between the borderline, Like, why isn't that? See, this shit isn't hammered out because of really basically history, meaning that the Cold War created a state of conditions that were never really resolved, even though Russia, came out of the Soviet Union, meaning that like the KGB and the Russians, because of their World War II victory, they controlled half the planet basically. And, they lost that power and that prestige or that influence, but the work that they did, to counter the United States and the work we did, we set all this shit up to happen. They never fixed it. They just made. So I don't think the war, though, honestly, is going to spiral out of control because the Iranians have shown that they're basically incapable of delivering the terror that we thought they might have been able to deliver. Where is the response? Where's the daily terror? I don't see it. So maybe it's because I live in a bubble.
The war is going to be fine. The Iranians are fucked. All these terrible terrorist-loving people that was like, oh, we're going to blow up Israel and everything else like that. These people are so bad. They're so horrific and everything else. Nothing's going to happen to the state of Israel. This war is going to be done in like 5 to 6 weeks. And they're going to be dead. Mojtaba Khomeini is going to be dead. Ayatollah Khomeini is already dead. The crown prince is already fucking dead. All these scumbags are already fucking dead. I don't understand why these enemies of civilization keep talking absolute nonsense and absolute bullshit. You know, in these Arab states, they're always like, death to Israel, death to America. These Arab state, inbred states, I don't care about them. They're all dead already. You know what I mean? And it's like they won't be like, oh,
you sound a little ignorant, bro. This time.
These people, no, I'm telling the truth.
You are.
It's the same people.
Because
same
you're talking about Iranians celebrating, but the very Iranians that are celebrating have family there. You know that, right? The very Iranians fucking in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, all the people who are celebrating that Israel and US are attacking Iran, so they're going to get their country back. The very same people who are celebrating, all of them have families back home that they want to be able to save them. And those people are dying is what I'm trying to say. Some sensitivity to this matter when you... I've listened to you a lot of times, but now you're not making sense, you know? You got to make some sense when you say certain things.
I am telling you, these people, they're losing left, right, and center. And you're just like, oh, they have family back home and everything else like that. What do you think their families are doing? They're sheltered in place, they're in a good place, and everything else like that. It's a terrible thing you're doing, you know? You're really going to sit here. I have family back home in Iran. I have family back home in Sudan when the war was fucking happening, and I was there as a soldier. You have to expect casualties. You have to expect death. You have to expect terrible things that's gonna happen to people. I don't understand what the hell you're talking about, mister, bro. So horrible, you know. I don't think you get the clue. It's so bad, but they get it. Everybody gets it. Mustafa's dead. Khomeini's dead. Everybody's dying, left, right, and center. The U.S. did a great thing, and it was the right choice by the United States to do it. And
did you see the Mossad employee? He's back in Israel. The guy that was head of their, I don't know, in some part of their government. He was a Mossad agent, and he's back in Israel. Did you see that headline? That like they literally had a long-term mole in the Iranian government, which was actively giving up targets. A lot of the people that got killed were given by this guy who was a long-term, is like long-term planning. This is, you know, where they execute all the heads of the 5 families. And I mean, it's like, thank God they could do it, because you know, this could have turned into like a really nasty, like long-term war, but you know, the history of Iraq and Iran was perpetuated by the West and the East supplying weapons to both those countries, and those fucking poor bastards killed each other by the tens of thousands with chemical warfare. You know, it was a vicious war between Saddam and Iran, and a lot of people made a lot of money, and you know, what a horrible waste of life, you know, for what? And then Saddam had his time too, hung by his own people, you know, or whoever hung him. But anyways, I'm just saying there's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole, you know, universe. That's like, look at Trump's assassination. Who was behind that? You know, like, was it even real anymore? Like, I question, like, was that all just like a political propaganda event? Like, but I know people died there. You know, poor innocent fireman got killed, but his ear healed up so well. And who tried to do it? Who the fuck was Michael Crooks? Did you ever see anything that came out with regards to who Michael Crooks was in communication with, or what happened to his parents? Like, the fuck? So there's just the narrative in the story implies that, you know, that I think there's a bigger thing at work here, which you can't really always tell because it's that big and it acts in the shadows, which is technically like the CIA, meaning that the CIA is too big to fail. And because of that, they can't seem to fail, even if they fail up. But, you know, this success goes to the dedication of a lot of those pilots who spent their whole lives preparing for these strikes, and and they survived. So, and it's all because of technology, proficiency, training. It's not a fucking video game that like. It's like a real life video game for these people risking their lives, and you know, and like you said, all these innocent victims, the civilians who are the ones who always suffer during wars, they're right in the middle of it, and you can't avoid it. So, long live the fighters, peace to the martyrs.
Okay, what were you talking about earlier about they were planning those rooms you sent me? About Muslims planning something?
Oh no, there was this one room. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, there was this one room, like, obviously they were all there.
I think you're the Matrix. Matrix alert. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Paycheck, Beamer, Kitover.
Have to follow certain things.
No, well, yeah, we're just listening.
Huh? You cut out again, Hulky. Couldn't hear anything you said.
Hello?
Hello?
No, I just said, well, yeah, it's just, so.
So, there's a lot of like fake videos.
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were discussing about how we can trap people because obviously they're not going to bomb if innocent people are also part of the crowd, right? So the way they were talking about is like how we can hold the people like hostage. I wouldn't say hostage because that's not the right word. But not having them give the freedom to flee the city where we're actually bombing. So they were talking some shit like that, dude. It's just pretty horrible. It was on a Clubhouse, and I sent it to Sarah, and I asked her to join, and then she joined, and then they kicked her out, and they blocked her from the room. So I was just still in the stealth mode and listening to all these people. And of course, I don't understand Farsi much, but it was really sad that all of them had this fucking Ayatollah's picture. Everybody in the room had their PTR with that fucking leader.
So I'm looking at Times of Israel, and it says that Bahrain State Oil Company declares force majeure for its shipments after an Iranian attack set its refinery ablaze. State-run Bahrain news agency carries the announcement of the force majeure, a legal maneuver that releases a company of its contractual obligations because of extraordinary circumstances. It says the company's operations have been affected by the ongoing regional conflict and the recent attack on its refinery. It insists that local demand can still be met. State media says the strike targeting Bahrain's sprawling A1 Amir oil facility caused a fire at the complex along with material damage. Outbreak of a fire due to the Iranian aggression targeting a facility in Al Amir with material damage reported but no casualties. So, like, force majeure basically means, we're keeping your shit, go fuck yourself. Like, it's ours now. Like, we're no longer doing business with you. So, I mean, this doesn't seem to me like it's going to be one of those conflicts that de-escalates. It seems to me that like this is Trump's Alexandrian moment where, he will conquer. And Times of Israel says that he will not stop the war until him and Benjamin Netanyahu mutually agree to stopping it. So if Trump wants to stop it, but Benjamin says, no, 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 we can't do that, Donnie. Donnie's like, but I really think we should stop it. Benjamin's going to go, no, Donnie. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, did you hear that? That Congress is not in control of this, but actually Benjamin Netanyahu is technically now fully in control of this glorious war of victory. Just remember that no matter what happens, Trump was still the best choice here, no matter what. Kamala, we couldn't trust Kamala. She'd be halfway through a vodka bottle right now. Donald's drinking a Diet Coke, eating 2 cheeseburgers with salted French fries, saying, "How's the war going, Peter?" Pete Hegseth's like, "Mr. President, we are hitting our targets at a 99% efficiency rate. They are taking hell every 10 minutes. Great work, Peter. Keep pummeling them. Fight them in the seas. Fight them in the mountains. Fight them in their villages and fight them in their biggest cities. Wherever you find the enemy, fight them, Peter." Yes, Mr. President. Melania, pass me the ketchup. I just love a good cheeseburger late at night in the White House. Well, my armies conquer ancient Babylon. My armies are penetrating further into ancient Babylon as we speak at this very moment. First we conquered Iraq, and now we are conquering ancient Cyprus itself. King Cyrus would be rolling in his grave if he saw what I was doing to his ancient kingdom. Babylon is ours! Melania, pass me the ketchup. No, that's the mustard, Melania. The ketchup, that's the red one. Thanks, Melania. You still look great, by the way, baby. Peter, give me a war status update. Mr. President, we have killed 80% of their leadership. We just have a few holdouts. We think we'll have the war wrapped up by Wednesday, Mr. President. Great work, Peter. Top-notch work. You're doing God's work. It was necessary. We had to do it, Peter. We had to do it. They tied our hands. We had to do it. I understand, Mr. President, but we're killing an awful lot of civilians, Mr. President. Well, after the Shah becomes the next king, he'll have to set up a reparations fund for his people. It's necessary. But no matter what happens, I was the right choice, wasn't I? Absolutely, Mr. President. Thanks, Peter. Great work. I'm going to give you the Medal of Honor after it's all said and done. They're going to remember you for getting rid of the trans. Thank God you got rid of all those men dressed up as women. Oh, nothing but a pain in the ass. Bunch of complainers. Can't figure out what the difference is between a penis and a vagina. God is trans. Many people don't know that trans just means transformation. God can change because God is limitless, but a man, if he has a penis, will always be a penis. It's a man. And if a woman has a vagina, that woman will always be a vagina. But God can change. But you can never change your sex or your gender. It's just impossible. All right, everybody, I'm at the Chicago Theater. I'll be here all weekend. Tickets are $10 a pop. Just go to ChicagoMayorElection.com. for more comedy. That's right, Chicago mayor election. I'm running for the mayor of Chicago. You can follow us on Instagram at Chicago Mayor Vote. That's right, Chicago Mayor Vote. I'll put a link in the chat and on the Jumbotron. Did I clean the room out? Everybody went to sleep because they got work tomorrow? I got work tomorrow too. Bam, 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 around. Bam, 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 around. Bam, 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 around. We're gonna bam around the clock tonight. Was that a drop? Bam, bam, S for Han. We're gonna drop a big bomb on Tehran. Hey, Mr. Dog, welcome back. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Ribono Shalom. A lot of people are gonna die.
Sure. Can I ask you a question?
What is it?
Where are you from?
I was born on a planet near Saturn called Uranus. It's near Neptune.
Give me an intelligent answer, please.
Oh, you want to know what planet I'm from? Earth. I was born out.
I said, give me an intelligent answer.
I just said Earth. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
That's intelligent.
No, that's not intelligent.
It's accurate. Accuracy is intelligence, is it not?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what percentage of the population truly wants liberation and how many people are in support of the regime? Do you have any idea?
I think probably Pareto's principle, 80-20, right?
That's incorrect.
No, what's the correct number? Statistics.
The numbers are a little more higher. It's close to 60 to 40%.
Ooh.
Okay, so 60% of good people who want Israel and U.S. help to get liberated and have their own country under whatever the prince guy that got chosen by Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other 40% is a pretty huge population.
Yeah.
That are going to continue to fight back.
It's like 30 million people.
Easily, yeah. So 30 million people, and what's the population of Iran? Close to 110 million, right? So out of the 100 million people, let's say it's 100, let's take a whole number. Out of 100 million people, 40 million are in support of the regime. They're going to do anything they can in order to make sure they retaliate till their last breath, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we're up against. And then there are 60 million people who wants peace, who wants this, and they're asking United States and Israel to help, right? Mm-hmm. So given the situation where 60% of the population is something that you don't want to kill, mm-hmm. and 40% of the population is trying to make sure that 60% of the population suffer because they're getting help from outside, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you think, I know Achek was saying it's going to end in like 5 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever. Do you think you can eliminate the bad people? I mean, yeah, we're talking about leaders. Yeah, they're eliminated. Ayatollah, blah, blah, blah. All the major folks are gone. So the remaining 40% are still going to cause more chaos to ensure that this is not going in the direction Trump wants, right? So how do you think it's going to be a 5 to 6 weeks engagement?
What's your question?
My question is, how do you think this engagement is going to end in 6 weeks? Which is what you also supported when Achek said it, right?
You don't know if it could go for 6 years or 600 years or 600,000 years. The thing is, it's arbitrary because you determine when
yeah,
you.
But Trump is not going to be the president for fucking 600 years or 6 years.
I get it, but it's still arbitrary. When you declare something is over, it's a headline, it's a press release, it's a communication. It doesn't mean it's over. So even in these negotiations, it's everything is always tentative, and people always want to say all or nothing statements, and it's just more of a philosophical understanding about the experience. I can't really, tell you. I don't know the future. No one does. There's just this thing called the now, which is a compression of the future and the past.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
the question is, if you farted right now, do you think you'd shit your pants?
No. Let's not talk rubbish.
If you farted right now,
No. Let's not talk
would you
rubbish.
shit your pants? That's the question.
Let's talk more like educated, sensible people. All right. You don't have to give me an analogy that doesn't make.
Well, Acek is back. If you can't talk with me because I'm too stupid, try talking to Acek. Hello?
Yeah. Well, I'm asking you.
What's up, bro? Sorry, I just finished work. Australia, we have a different time zone. Sorry, bro.
No worry, Acek. No, I was just saying about the population and what percentage of people are in support of the regime and how much percentage of the population that are against the regime. So given the fact that you guys agree that we're going to finish in 5 to 6 weeks, there are like close to 30 million people who are in support of the regime, right? And there's 60% of the population is against the regime who wants United States and Israel to help them, right? So in 5 to 6 weeks, how are we going to ensure that we're going to kill all the bad people? I know we talked about the leaders. Yeah, this gone, that gone, Ayatollah gone, Khomeini gone, blah, blah, blah. All those guys are gone. So we still have 30 billion people who can replace another leader and continue to move on. So how do you think it's going to be a 5 to 6 weeks?
You gotta understand, it's a long-term reprogramming operation. You can't reprogram people overnight.
No, Trump is not going to be long-term.
Listen, change comes in the middle of the night. Fear overtakes large groups of herds of people like flashes of lightning in the sky. You're so pessimistic, you have no idea what happens.
My only point that I'm trying to say is this is not going to be 5 to 6 weeks operations all.
It's just your opinion, sir. It's just your opinion.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's your opinion. See, this is the problem with people on Clubhouse who demand that their opinions are not opinions, but they're facts. No, you have a misunderstanding, apparently, of what words mean. I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree on what words mean. But, if you want, it's totally up to you.
Disagree. No, even if I have to disagree, I have to understand what you say, and then I can disagree saying, yeah, okay, fine, I understood your point. But I'm not able to understand your point even.
Okay, tell me, what is a woman? What is a woman? Answer that question. We'll find out. We're going to get a diagnostic here. What is a woman?
That's irrelevant to what
I'm
asking you.
All right.
That's irrelevant to what I'm asking you.
Well, if you farted right now, would you shit your pants?
See, this is what you're talking.
If you farted right now, would you shit your pants?
Your IQ is reflecting on just all these.
I'm just asking a question. If you farted right now, would you or would you not shit your pants? Is a fart just air passing over a turd? Is a fart just air passing over a turd?
No, it's just you eating some dog shit, maybe. I think that's what it is.
Is a fart just air passing over a turd? Ooh, that got too personal, didn't it? I will not be mocked. That was his final answer. I will not be mocked. How dare you give me an unintelligent response? Only speak to me with intelligence. How dare you?
Strong, did you guys have a personal problem or whatever? I had to get a phone call to finish work. What was that?
Oh, he'll be back. He's just going to go to another room to try to spread more propaganda.
Oh, that's terrible.
There's awful, horrible, terrible people on this app who just want to use this app as a place to just spread lies and misinformation because they know the power of communication. But it's up to us, on this app to essentially mock them, roast them, record them, expose them, report them. because they're just lying. They're not here to learn anything. They're just here to spread propaganda. That's all it is. This app is literally a government, you know, financed propaganda research project. And the gold coins thing on here is so stupid because it's not like if you send me gold coins, I can send them to anybody else. So it's just fucking pointless. The people who run this app really are the biggest fucking dummies of the app. They're so stupid that they don't even come on here to listen, to even get to know the people that use their stupid app. I don't think they actually work. I think they just have like a monthly meeting and they set some goals and then the programmers work on it. They have their stupid town hall and they call that their like monthly conference call, and then they all go back to their lives, and then they don't even think about the people that sit here and talk, because we're just the product to them, and it's not important. It doesn't matter what they're saying. All this data, you know, every single thing that everybody says in here is 100% getting bought by the NSA and the CIA and being sent through an Amazon cloud for infinite retrieval. Because if the Democrats come back into power, they have said that they want to arrest and re-educate maggots, aka Republicans. And, you know, Reid Hoffman, who owns this app, who is a confirmed Epstein pedo, you know, just remember that when you use this app, it's connected to Jeffrey Epstein and billionaire pedos. And they are Democrats. And, you know, they are worried because people keep speculating, but I know it's all just fake news, that Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama are going to be arrested, and Joe Biden as well. I don't believe it. I don't think it'll ever happen because it's just never happened. No president has ever been like, you know, let's go arrest former presidents. It just doesn't happen. And Kash Patel is too busy getting drunk at soccer games, flying around in a fucking beautiful 747 with a hot Israeli asset. Real asset. Top-notch asset. What a life. You know, if there's any miracles out of the Trump administration, it's Kash Patel's lifestyle. Wow. Baller status. Instantaneous J. Edgar Hoover FBI baller status. That's the thing about life is sometimes you go from being a nobody to being like the most powerful person like imaginable, you know. And the FBI is the biggest surveillance and counter surveillance organization on the planet with the largest number of paid snitches. And you know what they say about snitches? They get stitches. And people on this app, you know, they're all wasting their time because they're so stupid. They don't even know that everything they're saying is being recorded. Not just by me, but by actual intelligence agencies that don't even care what you're saying. They just know that in the future it's valuable. But right now nobody cares what you're saying. But in the future, there's value because then they can blackmail you or hold it over your head and say, hey, you said all this. You know, oh, well, it's out of context. Okay, well, here's the full context. And you said all this. Oh! I mean, I'm being facetious now. Maybe I'm forward projecting my own situation, but I don't think so. Because basically, everything gets updated real time. So, you know, 10 minutes from now, it'll be the new set of conditions and the new recordings. And really, the thing is, this is why I know all these data centers are scams. Because people are so communicative and they talk so much and they create so much data that no one can possibly go through all your data and actually like pull out like what they're looking for because there's just too much recorded data. So for example, if you go to John Kitover on YouTube, etc., and you just type my name in, there are so many videos, like we're approaching 100,000 videos, that like you just give up because you're like, what am I even looking for here? It's just like nonstop Clubhouse recordings and tons of AI videos. So like I get it, but like there's so many videos here, you know, I can't find what I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna let it go. Leave it alone, John. That's it. Bye. Done looking here. Moving on to the next dopamine drip over here. Look at this YouTube AI video. Look at this Meta AI video. So I check. Do you have a Meta Quest 3S? Do you know what that is? It's made by Fakebook Meta. Quest 3S. No.
I don't understand what you bought the John Kitover. Last time I spoke to you, you were like running for Congress or whatever, but it doesn't matter to me. What's your goal?
There's no goal here, Oddcheck. I'm just live streaming all this content because I'm running for Congress and I'm also running for mayor of Chicago now. So after yeah.
That can't be too hard.
Oh no, it's actually I'm running as a libertarian this time. I'm done trying to run as a Republican or
as a libertarian. That's terrible. Why would you run as a libertarian?
Because I'll be able to get on the ballot as a libertarian, but as a Republican Democrat, it's impossible. The lawyers and judges just control who appears on the ballot. But as a libertarian,
Yeah.
I can run unopposed.
Oh, you have terrible lawyers, judges. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my strategy. It's my intuition because I've been through it and I voted enough times to where a lot of this is like the visualization of what it looks like on the ballot. And so when you run as a libertarian, you get full representation on that ballot as a libertarian. And you know, when people sit there and they vote, they think about, who am I voting for? They're gonna look me up and say, you know what? I'm voting for the libertarian. I've been voting for the Democrat these many times. I voted for the Republican once or twice. I'm gonna try this third option. And I think there's a good chance that I can, possibly have a good showing because there's, very small chance that I'll win. But if I can win, place, or show, like in a horse race, if I can even come in third place, wow, that's a victory, And because it's a highly publicized political event, it'll be one of the most watched political events of 2027. It's February 23rd, 2027. Go to chicagomayorvote.com or johnkitoverchicago.com to see more. I'll pin the link. You can be my campaign coordinator in Australia.
I'm in Australia. I can't even help you, bro. But I'm just trying to say, like, many things can happen. You never know in life.
Because a lot of this is networking. Like, by doing this, I meet a lot of people that I would never meet. And it's also even about getting to know the people in Chicago that I live with. Like, because I'm going to have to get 15,000 signatures. So I'll be in the streets, 40 hours a week getting signatures. And you meet a lot of people, and then next thing you know, you get invited to this event and you find out about that. So it's like creating a network. It's like an intelligence network, basically. When you get political, you create a Rolodex and an index of people you've come in contact with. That's what Epstein said in one of his emails. He said, it's not about what you know, it's about who you happen to meet in your life. So the more people you meet, there's a greater opportunity that you're going to discover intelligence because these people are engaged in business operations. Like, I know somebody from internet advertising that's now working in the White House. And he owns a venture capital fund, and he's one of the craziest people I know, or he looks crazy, but he's super Christian, super rich, and he's working in the White House. I'm like, what is this guy doing in the Situation Room?
Well, good luck. I hope you win. I hope you have a good time,
Yeah, it's all about the experience, not about the outcome. Because I just hope to meet a beautiful, woman. A lot of politics also gets you laid. That's my favorite thing about politics is you meet beautiful women that just fall in love with you because they're like, oh, politician, he's a star or a star in the making. Kiss me, you fool. Kiss me. But if you,
I don't think that's the way it works.
really, it's framing.
I already have my missus. She's fantastic.
Oh well, you're lucky. I'm looking for my missus.
And I don't think that's the way it works, bro.
Dude, yeah. I can speak from experience, my friend.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just telling you that having run for Congress, I have met beautiful women that have thrown themselves at me just because I'm a candidate.
I don't think that's how it works.
I'm telling you, it's happened to me. I'm giving you my lived experience, as they say.
Well, have a good time with that, but it's not the case.
Well, you just don't like liberty. Do you like libertarians?
No, I think libertarians are fucking losers.
Oh shit.
And I think they're scumbags, and I think they're liars, terrible people.
Oh my god.
To their own people. Libertarians are the worst of the worst. Yeah.
Well, wait.
I actually prefer Democrats over libertarians because you people.
Wow.
So bad.
All right. Well, let me.
So bad.
What before you tell me why they're so horrible and bad? Tell me about economic philosophy. Meaning, what do you think about like unsound money? Meaning that the dollar is not tied to currency, to gold or silver. It's not pegged to a metal. It's basically infinite. Meaning that fractional reserve banking allows us to borrow and spend as much as we determine in our budget, unrestricted. Like, do you think that that's moral, ethical, or virtuous? Because that's my big critique, and I don't think that it has anything to do with political party, Republican, Democrat, Liberty. I'm just saying I think I'm accurately describing the moral of engaging in running deficits. Don't you think that's?
No, I'm just telling you, libertarians are the worst of the worst. Maybe you have a different opinion, everything else like that, but I think libertarians are terrible people. It's just horrible. You guys, you run on absolute nonsense. You run on absolute BS. And you want to destroy things. Libertarianism is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how somebody can be in their 30s, 20s, 40s, and even be a libertarian. I think that's scum of the earth, worst of the worst, terrible people. I don't understand how you can run as a libertarian. So bad.
You would vote for a Democrat? You would honestly vote for a Democrat over somebody who wants to be represented by a party name called Liberty?
Are better than libertarians.
Why is that?
Because at least they're principles. Libertarians are just scum of the earth, terrible people, worst of the worst.
Why do you say that, though?
You guys don't believe in anything. You're like the explodes that you met in your, when you were 12 or 13, and you played Call of Duty, and you had these retarded fucking accounts online calling you a nigger, calling you a guy, calling you all sorts of
names. You think that's what libertarians are?
That's what I think about libertarianism. You're just the worst of the worst.
Really? You think Ron Paul is a bad guy?
Ron Paul is a terrible guy, worst of the worst.
Why do you think he's the worst of the worst?
Because Ron Paul is a fucking scumbag. He has no fucking principles. He acts like he is talking the truth. He's so bad. Horrible.
Really?
Chicago's mayoral election is set for Tuesday, February 20.
Well,
I just told you, Ron Paul is a scumbag. The worst of the worst.
I'm so confused. Why do you think Ron Paul is a scumbag? He seems like he's an honest doctor to me, a good congressman, very patriotic. Called out the Kennedy assassination, called out the, warmongering, the never-ending debt spiral. What's wrong with Ron Paul? Why?
He's a fucking liar, and and you guys act like your principles, and you guys act like your shit don't stink, and something else like that. No, libertarians are just scumbags, terrible people, and you might think you're great people, but you're not great people. You're just dishonest. I don't understand why you feel the way you do. Maybe you think you're cool, maybe you think you're edgy, maybe you think you're different, but libertarians, you're so bad. You're the worst of the worst. You know, at least with Democrats, they like spill some bullshit, but at least they speak that truth. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. Libertarians want to liberate you with the truth by accurately describing the situation.
Libertarians are terrible people, bro. They're liars and they're scumbags. I don't understand why you believe in this bullshit. It's terrible.
Libertarian to me is really from the Ron Paul movement when he ran for president.
Ron Paul was a loser. He lost, and he was a scumbag. He lost for a reason. Nobody voted for him. Nobody cares about him. Nobody even gives a shit about him. He lost for a reason.
Why did he lose?
Because he's full of shit, and nobody believes him.
How do you describe those people?
They're weak losers. They think they're edgy lords. They're just the worst of society. People like Ron Paul think like, oh, we're gonna eliminate the Federal Reserve. Oh, we're gonna eliminate these taxes. Oh, we're gonna bring in get the fuck out of here. You're not gonna do shit. And you're gonna lose. And you're gonna fail. And you're gonna fail again and again and again. That's why Ron Paul lost every single time.
Wow. Sounds very personal for you, Acek.
100% personal.
Why is it you're not even an American? You're a Sudanese living in Australia.
South Sudanese living in Australia.
So how is Ron Paul and the Federal Reserve, part of your emotional
because
makeup?
He's a fucking liar, and he brainwash people like you. And you really think, you know what? Go ahead and run on that ticket because you're gonna lose too. Because nobody believes you. Nobody. I can't believe you're in your 30s, maybe 40s, and you really believe in this shit. Nobody believes you. Nobody cares, and you're never gonna win. Ron Paul is a scumbag, a terrible person, horrible, and he lost, and you're gonna lose too.
Wow. Well, thanks for your endorsement, Acek. Go to johnkitoverchicago.com to see more, or chicagomayorvote.com. This is candidate Kitover for Chicago Mayor. Thanks, Acek. You're in my latest commercial. I'm going to publish you. Everybody in Chicago is going to see this interview I did with you. They're going to say, you know what? Maybe I like John Kitover more than before because Acek, he hates Ron Paul. He hates liberty. And he thinks they're all losers, And maybe the people watching the videos will say, you know what? Fuck that guy, Acek. I'm voting Kitover. Vote Kitover.
You know what they're going to say? They're going to be like, I'm not voting Kitover. And you're going to lose again.
Wow.
And it's going to be it's going to be the end of the day.
Damn. You're harsh, Acek. I would hate to be your enemy. If I was a North Sudanese, I would not want to have to fight you. I would fear you. You're vicious. Welcome, Jay.
I killed all my enemies, and you're gonna kill all your enemies. don't understand what's going on there, but
Oh, thank God we have Manfinity here. We have a real MAGA man here. Thank God. Man, correct today and the other day talking to Pat. Aren't you sick of it, Manfinity? Don't these people just annoy you?
Well, I've been silent on in their space for a while, so this is a recent return. But yeah, it's at some point it's like banging your head against the wall. So you take it for what it is. The app to me doesn't offer much other than that, and because those are familiar voices and personalities to me,
yeah,
it's just this a familiar place to be, and I'm okay with it for the most part. But yeah, it is. It doesn't sink through. But I do enjoy my exchanges with Ban or Goat. It's just it's a learning for the room. They can hear how short-tempered he is, impatient he is, and intolerant. So I think it's an exposure of his faults, and I get under their skin. So there's a level of that I enjoy. But yeah. So, but they did call you. They call you John Kitover. I didn't know that your name was John Kitover.
Yeah.
And they were bashing me for having exchanges with you. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't hear that. No.
Yeah. They're aware of you. They're aware that you do the YouTube replays. But they don't go into detail but they really hold us or hold me like having any interaction with you. And I don't, yeah.
But I was gonna here hates. He thinks libertarians are effing losers. He'd rather vote for a Democrat than libertarian. And he thinks that, all libertarians are destined to failure and disaster. I mean, I supported Ron Paul, and I still support what he was talking about and saying about the national debt, about forever wars, about blowback, about a lot of things, about the size of government. And the bigger the government, the bigger the problem. So I just don't, I'm just saying, I think Acek here, he's speaking like a Democrat, speaking like a Republican, But most people.
Why is it, Acek, why don't you like the libertarian mindset? I think they have a valuable.
Libertarians are losers. They're terrible people. They don't win. They don't ever win anything. They're just scumbags and they just lie. John, you're just lying to people. You'll never win. You'll never win your mayor candidate. You want to know why? Because people don't believe in you. You have no strength. You have no backbone. You're not a man, and you lie as a libertarian. No libertarian is gonna win. And you sit here and be like, oh, bro, it's better to vote for a Democrat than a libertarian. And that's why I'm saying the thing is, like, true.
Why don't you like the libertarians?
They're liars. Libertarianism is not true. It's a fake, false, ideology, everything else like that. They're the worst.
I understand that's your conclusion, but I'm asking how do you arrive at that conclusion?
Because they're scumbags. They don't believe in anything.
You're not really offering any substance. I understand that
you got.
It's not my fault. Yeah.
Because libertarians don't win anything. Terrible people.
Because they don't win?
They're just terrible people and they're lying, bro.
Okay. But can you give me an example?
I don't believe in their policies. They're like, oh, this is my policies and everything else like that. But these people are just, and I just think they just come back. But libertarianism will never win. I don't care. For libertarianism. 100%, bro.
I just think they add interesting dialogue. Libertarian that comes to mind that I really appreciate in the media is a guy by the name of Greg Gutfeld. He's definitely sympathizes and appreciates the Trump perspective on things, but he's a libertarian, and I think a lot of his takes are common sense rooted, and I think they move the conversation forward. So I agree. Maybe there's no traction for them to gain any power as a libertarian party in this country, but they provide a very valuable discourse to the discussion around politics. I even think Bill Maher may be something like a libertarian. So they're sobering in their takes, and they point to a lot of truth. On that front, I appreciate the libertarian perspective and the existence. But yeah, I think I tend to agree with you. I don't think they're gain some traction and become a serious, legitimate political movement in the country, because it won't happen anytime soon, at least. But I can still recognize their value.
Yeah, I don't. It's very, very different.
You said what?
No, I said, yeah, I don't.
You don't what?
Returns are fake. I just don't understand what they're talking about. I think they split the vote. I think it's a terrible thing they're doing, and they just, I don't even believe they believe in what the hell they're even talking about, So, like, libertarians to me are just like, what do you call these people? They're like bomb throwers. You know what I mean? They just want to get in there. They want to ruin the whole situation. To me, that's libertarians. I don't believe in anything they say. It's horrible.
Yeah. Do you Iranian and the attacks in Iran?
100%, of course. Of course, that should have happened 2 years ago. Iran is a terrible terrorist regime. What they've been doing, killing people. They're killing people in Kuwait. They're killing people in the UAE. They're killing people in Bahrain. They're killing people everywhere. It's a terrible country, What they're doing is fucked up. Thank God President Trump finally is dealing with his enemies of civilization. But they're killing people everywhere. You see what they're doing is so bad, so terrible, They're killing people in Sudan. It's just a horrible country. So bad.
Did you listen to the foreign minister?
Which one?
Asghari, I think his name was Asghari. Anyways, he was on Meet the Press today.
Is he still alive? I thought he was dead.
No, I was actually listening.
We attack our own people.
They're being accused of attacking their own people. Listen to this.
No, we were negotiating with the United States. And in the middle of negotiations, in the middle of diplomacy, they decided to attack us. And they have attacked so many places, including schools and hospitals. And there are all evidences that this school is attacked by an American, jet fighter.
Where is the Iranian evidence that this was a U.S. attack, a jet fighter, as you say? Will you provide?
If it was not U.S., then who was that? Maybe Israelis. But it is obvious who else is attacking us.
Well, let me move on to this question about potential ground troops. You said earlier this week on U.S. ground troops to my colleague Tom Yamas, quote, "We are waiting for them." But President Trump says the condition for sending troops to Iran would be that Iran, quote, would be so decimated that they would to fight at the ground level. Is the president right? Would you not be able to fight at the ground level, Mr. Foreign Minister?
Well, at least it's not the case right now. For the time being, we are capable enough. We have very brave soldiers who are waiting for any enemy who enter into our soil to fight with them and to destroy and to kill them and destroy them. So, and that would be the case in the coming days and the coming years, and in always in our in Iran. We are brave people. We have a great civilization. We have defended our land for thousands of years, and we continue to do that as much as it takes.
Let me ask you, because you have said that this was a war of choice. President Trump said one of the reasons for launching this war was that Iran, quote, already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases and would soon have missiles capable of reaching America. Was Iran planning to directly attack the United States?
Well, this is not true. This is in fact misinformation. We have capability to produce missiles, but we have intentionally limited ourselves kilometers of range because we don't want to be as a threat by anybody else in the world. Of our missiles more than right now. So there is no evidence, there is no intelligence, nothing to indicate that Iran is going to long-range missiles, let alone those missiles who can reach the United States. So, sorry.
All right, and of course, U.S. officials say that negotiations over this came to a halt, and that is part of why they moved forward with this action. Minister Arachi, thank you very much. We will obviously be tracking.
What do you think about that?
Doesn't matter what he says. Listen, I saw that rocket, that they claim went into that girl's school, and they that's a tomahawk. I don't know what to say about when you're the president of the United States tells the people of a country to rise up and seize their government. The fascist, terrorist Nazis that are, and we go all in. That's crossing the Rubicon. That's maybe it's not the best analogy, but meaning we've crossed the threshold. Get out of your boats and go all in. This is not. If Trump does half measured responses, it will not go well. But we've got the firepower and the targeting capabilities unlike any other time in human history. And the fact that the Ayatollah has been evaporated, to me it's is this reality? Is this all reality is? Maybe that's what it is. War. Maybe that's what reality is. Maybe that's what God is. The whole experience is just war. Which kind of sucks. It's because World War II is the greatest sacrifice in human history of all time. 80 million dead people from the conflict. That should have been the war to end all wars, but war is a business. So unfortunately, nobody wants to go out of business.
Yeah. Oh boy, very tough times. Are you concerned with any retaliation by the Iranian government or those that are sympathetic with the Iranians?
That thought crosses my mind, but it's so regional. They can't touch us over here. And,
what about the people that are already here that are sympathetic?
Well, shit, you would have thought after the Ayatollah they would have gone mad and that we would have already been hit.
Maybe they're biding their time.
Well, the thing is, we know statistically what holidays and events bring out, the greatest percentages. Daniel, welcome to the room. How are you today? I've announced my mayoral candidacy. Click the link above. We are marching on, and we are also going through the March 17th primary as a write-in candidate. Certified in not every precinct, but here we are. And I'm running as a libertarian this time. I'm not running as a Republican or a Democrat because I think
we're making progress at this point. Well, is there any way that you can have Andrew as part of this whole kerfuffle? Because he's been a real scumbag lately.
Andrew R.
Andrew R. for great.
Dude, I swear, I think that guy is putting on, like, he's definitely putting on arrears, is it? Or like a fake persona. Like he is fake to the max, in my opinion. And he was in a black room and they were like, "Are you John Wayne Gacy? Are you Jeffrey Dahmer?" Set over somebody's show, or what is it? Is it his, like, pompous, like, arrogancy? What is it exactly?
It's the latent homosexuality.
Really?
Yeah, I think that he's gay, and I think that he uses the New Testament, Paul's writings, particularly his letter to the Romans, as a spear. And that's how he spearheads his campaign against his own homosexuality. Projects it outward. I mean, all communication is a type of projection. He's actually, when he fights against homosexuality, he's actually fighting himself with that spear that is the book of Romans. And he spears himself over and over like Jesus was speared in the side by the centurion. And I find something so horrifying about this whole process of his homosexuality and him coming to terms with being gay, and he was gay.
Well, he told me that he suffered a TBI because he was at a party and made a pass at a guy, and he got punched in the face, and he suffered a TBI from that. And he really, really defends pronouns to a very high degree, where he has spent countless days trying to give trans or men who pose as women the respect that they obviously deserve by conforming to their version of word reality. Andrew is that kind of a Christian. He's just that nice of a guy to indulge his flock. I was thinking today, like, he is a shepherd, Say what you want about his closet homosexuality. That man is a shepherd, and he has, because he has a flock. And John Lee has a flock. So, you have a flock. I have a flock. We are all shepherds trying to help these innocent sheep get to the butcher block.
Yeah, I think the mayor quite like you, and I'm
strangely intrigued about your campaign and your philosophy.
Your campaign is amazing, and I'm just happy to know that you're going forward with it. As far as what you said about Andrew R. getting punched out at a party in front of like a bunch of hot chicks, losing a tooth, and like, can you imagine him in his mind he thinks he's like a Ralph Macchio type of like. And then, or he thinks of himself in one way. He's at a party, some guy confronts him, he wilts, and the guy just punches him out, just knocks a tooth out. And now he's frantically, on his knees looking for that tooth. And all the chicks are just laughing at him, like, what's going on? He's bleeding. And that left a traumatic, and also the brain injury, the TBI. That he suffered a concussion, and he was never the same after that. His brain plasticity wasn't enough plasticity to return him back to his original. So he became what he is now, just a cuckold and an empty husk and a mannequin of a human being that just pretends to do online. And when he was punched in the fucking face at that party in front of all those people, and when that tooth came flying out, it was almost like a fucking Looney Tunes skit. Like there was something comical about it, and that's why he wear a helmet. But Andrew R is obviously a homosexual. He's gay, and John Kitover for mayor.
Yeah, thanks for that contribution there. Yeah, I mean, it's really just basically it's the way that people spend their time that like makes me, not like them or basically want to roast them. But the greatest thing about Andrew R is whenever I actually am able to confront him or, get him to like engage me, he immediately degrades into like a baby type of prompt where he's like, I don't know if you've ever heard him impersonate me, but when he impersonates me, it's like listening to him like lose his marbles, and like break down like neurotically and psychiatrically in a very strange way, which I really like hearing him do the impersonation of me. So it'll be great if we can lure him in, and I'm sure we can because all these rooms eventually fizzle out, and then people go through like a discovery phase. Like people have, actually, I was thinking about this today. Like I have rituals in my life, meaning that I do things in certain sequences. Like when I have garbage in my kitchen, I want to go work out first prior to like taking the garbage all the way out to the trash, So it's like there are things that I have to do in order to do other things. And I think people's behavior here, because it's so, profound, like it's just so much time that goes into it and your full concentration that goes into it. Anybody who says they're working in the background is a liar because they're technically working still on the conversation, even if they're not involved in it, because they have to process the words and then they incorporate these conversations into their network of all the relationships on here and all the people that are on here. So anyways, I'm just wondering, like, what rituals do you have in your life, like as such that I just described? Like, what if you search your memory, what do you find yourself doing in your life that's ritualistic or repetitive or tied specifically to your behavior? Is it Clown House?
Yeah, that's the question. There's a lot of that going on with me. So what I'll do is I have this ritual where I have to be parked on a stage or I don't feel whole. So a lot of times, most of the time I'm not even listening, but I'm parked on the stage and that knowing that if I wanted to, I could listen. So I had that options there. And then I go into Alibaba and look for counterfeit guitars to buy in bulk and pass off as the real thing. That's what I do.
Oh man.
I got my counterfeit Chinese goods.
There's a little watch repair shop near me here in Chicago, and I went in there and it was like display cases of like the junkiest, shittiest watches you've ever seen in your life. And then sitting on the top, he's got like these incredible Rolex replicas just sitting on these piles of junk watches. And I'm just like, how much for the Rolex? He's like, do you want it with the box or without the box? I was like, with the box. He's like, $120. I'm like, $120? I'm like, it's a little too much for me for today, but I appreciate it. Thanks. He's like, well, then get out of my store. I was like, okay, take care.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens here. But when Andrew R. was punched out at a party and lost a tooth in front of a bunch of people,
yep.
All the entire community, all of his peers watched him cower. He didn't fight back. He just took the blow to the face. He's a coward. He lives with that. Cowardice.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, in his mind, he relives that moment. And what would a brave Andrew R. had done? He would have fought back.
No. Remember, he was making a sexual advancement. He was attempting to seduce this man into having a sexual experience with him. And that's what resulted in the man saying, back the fuck up. I don't want to use the F word here, but he proceeded to smash him in the face to regain his own honor and dignity because he didn't know that he was being sexually, you know, cornered by Andrew R. And that's when Andrew lost the tooth and suffered the traumatic brain injury. And ladies and gentlemen, that's history. He started cleaning houses after he couldn't find gainful employment. And, never forget that Andrew R. actually cleans up crime scenes. He cleans up obese hoarders, who die and leave huge stains on the carpet. He's got to clean all that up. Then he's got to come on Clubhouse and talk about Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior while he's cleaning up human excrement and rat excrement in abandoned homes to make a living so he can come back on Clown House to feed his flock, to make penitence for his crime of attempting to engage in homosexual liaison with a heterosexual man who did not want. He just thought he was having nice conversation with somebody at a social party. He didn't know he was going to get sexually assaulted by Andrew R. He had to defend himself. It's all in the history books. We'll have to check the NSA, CIA, Mormon servers in Utah to get the exact story, because those replays are about 30,000 rooms ago by Andrew R. at least. That's how many years ago and how many rooms Andrew R. has participated in. Anyways, I hope you like my submission. It's proprietary. It is copyright. And if you recorded me without my express written permission, I will sue you. Hello?
I think that you're on something. In fact, I think that you're all over. So, Andrew R. was punched out for making sexual advances to Colin. I don't know how he was making sexual advances. This guy was heterosexual. The guy punched him out. At the party, he lost and suffered a traumatic brain injury. And afterward, he just was never the same. He was never the same, except for the homosexuality and the missing tooth and the brain injury. That's what we have left. And when you look at the tooth, he was so young at the time that he lost that tooth that you could see that it was like the new tooth they put in, like his head grew around it in such a way that it's identifiable as the tooth that was punched out for being gay at a party. You could literally look at his smile and say, "Oh, that's the one that you got punched out at a fucking party, Andrew. You got punched out. You got punched in the face in front of everybody. In front of everyone.
See, you know him as the shepherd of his flock. And that's why I say he's very performative, because I can imagine myself like putting on a persona of the nicest Christian guy you've ever met and maintaining that persona no matter what. Doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what the topic is. I'm just going to be this lovable, affable, giggly guy who reminds you of Woody from Toy Story. I never change my PTR. I'm always looking with the sleepy eye in the, Honda Civic. Never change the photo, ever. Always maintain strict discipline. So I'm just saying that, when he engaged in the homosexual abusive conduct, I was wondering how he kind of maybe said it to the guy, like, who was an unsuspecting victim. Like, how do you think he said it? Like, "Hey, I think you're kind of gay." What? "I think you're sexy. I want to kiss you. My name's Andrew R. I'm Clown House. Do you know me? I'm a shepherd." So, see, this is kind of like what happens when you're in a cult. Your cult leader still wants to bust a nut because he's horny, but he just hasn't figured out how to jerk off and go to bed, and do it himself. He wants to abuse people because he himself has been abused. So we're not trying to slander or defame the shepherd of Clown House, known as Andrew R. with a sleepy eye from a homosexual, defensive attack. But this is John Kitover, candidate mayor for Chicago. I am a libertarian, and I'm trying to liberate the citizens of Chicago from their own worst enemies, which is the politicians here and the unions and the lawyers. But I'm also trying to liberate people on the internet from fake charlatans, from fake nice people who are actually probably neurotic psychotics, and maybe even dangerous. Who knows? But they will waste your time. And with that regards, we know they're dangerous. They do have that unique ability to lure you in with what, for a second, you actually think is intelligent conversation. But this is the thing about Clown House, Daniel, that I've noticed. That no matter what conversation is happening and no matter who is speaking, if you know that all conversations here are technically just wastes of time and very stupid, like you can listen to anything with like a little chuckle and say, here we go again. Just another fucking stupid conversation. How for a second did I even think that it was intelligent, even for a moment? So basically, it's kind of like Three Stooges. Have you ever watched the Three Stooges? Like I was watching the best of clips the other day, and they are so fucking funny. Like the facial expressions from like a communications perspective are just so brilliant. There's so many variables, so much movement, nonstop action. It never stops. So entertaining. And I think that's kind of what Clown House is like. But the thing that scares me is it's like, you don't know who these people are in the real world, and they definitely try to mask up. They don't want you knowing anything about them. They want to play their character here as the shepherd of Jesus Christ, and that's what like really kind of irks me, because I know some of these people's backstory. For example, that Andrew got punched out at a party for making aggressive sexual passes at another man, and I'm just saying that. I went to a country club once, and this other guy who was at the party was like, "Bro, you're normal." I was like, "Yeah. What do you mean?" He's like, "Everybody I meet is at these parties and functions are like gay." I'm like, "Yeah, there's a lot of gay people out there, There's a lot of gays." He's like, "Yeah, but you're normal." And I'm like, "Yeah. Well, let's go get some coleslaw." So I'm just saying that reading a book versus listening to an Andrew R. room is so much more rewarding and fulfilling. And you will, waste your time if you go in there. I just think it is technically dinner for schmucks, where it's like a bunch of Down syndrome sufferers or people with TBIs. Some of them are nice, but man, don't corner some of these nice guys. They will fucking bite you they'll bite your throat and rip your esophagus out. Have you ever noticed that? How like some of these smart dorky like, theologians, if like they get interrupted or, you tease them or make fun of them, like they will literally become fully psychotic like instantaneously. It's just an observation.
What to say? Let me just reiterate, Alan. Look, the bottom line is that Andrew R. was punched in the face. He was knocked out. He was punched out for making unprovoked homosexual advances toward a heterosexual man. He was punched out at that party. And what he said to the man was very subtle. He was using innuendo. He was using whatever he had up his sleeve. And this guy saw right through it, punched him out, knocked the tooth out in front of everybody. And he was just frantic on the ground looking for that tooth because he knew he had to replace it. Hold on just a second. I have a recording of the noise Andrew made when he was punched out at the party. This would sound Roll that footage.
You know what's interesting is like
that's the moment.
Stop it.
I like to.
That's the moment. That's the moment. I'm trying to explain to you that's the moment that he hit the canvas, he hit the floor, he got knocked out, and his lung collapsed, and that was the sound it made.
Listen, I'm being serious. How do you know all this?
Gerard had those rooms. He was like a guy that would come in he would actually be real about his shit. And he said that actually happened. We're decorating it in ways that are inappropriate, but he truly was punched out at a party.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, like, how did he broach with the guy? Like, you know, I think you're kind of cute, or can I read your palm, or, you know, like, how did he like actually cross the line and try to stick his tongue down his throat, or, you know, grab him like inappropriately? Like, what was it that caused the guy to actually say, "Hey, man, back the fuck up," boom, and then strike Cobra Kai style right in the face and plant that fucking fist? And he's like, "Ah! Ah! You did my tooth! Ah! Oh my god!" And then he had to, like, you know, basically he had to find a dentist within 24, 48 hours to, like, you know, to basically, I don't know, drill in place. But anyways, I wonder, like, if he came to Clubhouse after that happened. Because I think it happened in 2019, maybe 2020. I'm not sure exactly when he got punched up, but I heard the story quite a long time ago from his lips, you know, and I don't know if he ever crossed that threshold, but I would say based on his pronoun acceptance that, you know, he's open to the lifestyle and to the forgiveness that the Lord can provide for men that want to have same-sex orgasms, you know, and maybe not even be called gay, but just live in the closet as a homosexual. Saxon, welcome to John Kitover, candidate mayor, the Chicago Libertarian. Click the link above. We are running full steam ahead to get on the ballot this upcoming February. Hello?
Anyway, I think Andrew R needs to be reminded of Sodom and Gomorrah. If he's living this lifestyle, he's living in sin, man. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no forgiveness for that on that day, so...
Yeah, people... I was wondering, it's like...
I don't know why people actually go to his room, to be honest. I mean, it's just mayhem in there. It's a complete and utter shit show. That's what it is.
You know what I don't understand is, you know, if I were to ask somebody, can you be born gay? They would say, absolutely. Like, it's genetic. You can be born with a disposition to be gay and effeminate. You know, if you're a man, it can just be your genetics and your personality as a result of your genetics. But then I ask now listen to this. I ask the same person, can you be conditioned to be gay? Can your environment, can people around you tweak you, manipulate you, and maybe make you gay? No, absolutely not. And to me, that is the source of the problem right there, that people can't even admit to basically environmental and social conditioning. And that's because they are stupid. They don't understand how conditioning works. But I have a bell here. And when I hit that bell, if I'm at a party and a gay man makes a pass at me and he's a Christian preacher, and I hit that bell, well, I might be inclined to take my giant fist of Thor and extend that fist until it makes contact with that preacher's face, and then chip his tooth and send him back to his clown house room. Hello?
God, dude, you make me laugh.
Anyways, we got to get in a room with Andrew where I can talk with him, and like he can't even actually talk to me. He just immediately starts going, it's me, Jack. That's it. That's all he can actually converse with me with, which is exactly where I want him to be. I actually have no interest in ever speaking with him because I would much rather read a book. That's just me.
Right. Well, you can't be born. You cannot be born gay. No one's born gay. If you're gay, it's like I agree with you, Strength, John. I think it's conditioned the environment you're in.
I mean, you can be conditioned to be heterosexual. That's generally like what the conditioning is. Like you're supposed to like girls if you're a boy. You're supposed to like boys if you're a girl. But because of LGBTQ and the nonstop, homophobe, transphobe, like that type of nonstop intervention by the left woke mob, they basically are wasting our lives, and they have no sense of priority. Like, because we kind of are locked in this civilizational struggle. And if our culture and the content of our culture is constantly trying to reinforce certain social, word standardizations, and like that's all they're actually doing, you just have to reject the way that people are choosing to use communication and language. I mean, it's, you have to be very reserved and selective or discriminating, you might say. Hello?
I gotta imagine that tooth as it sails, slow motion, as it sails through the air, and just the horror, just a complete look of, he was ambushed, he was sideswiped, he was taken by surprise. It was guerrilla warfare, so to say, and he had no idea where that punch was. He didn't see it coming, and then that tooth just exited his gums, and this is the moment of panic. You realize that, oh my God, everyone's watching me. Be a coward.
Just imagine, he must have took a right punch to knock that tooth out.
Yeah. I mean, he got that tooth knocked the fuck out, and it must have, who knows where it went. But imagine him dropping to his knees and trying to find that tooth. For whatever reason, I mean, of course it was a lost cause at that point, but he was just like, there was something in his reptilian brain that was like, you have to get the tooth. And there was no hope left at all for that. And he was humiliated, and he knew that he was making an advance toward the guy, homosexual advance, and he had an MRI of the brain, and he suffered a concussion. And after that, he joined Clubhouse and decided to, hey, if I'm going to do what I do, I might as well do it in safety. So that's why he wastes his time. He may as well be doing tape games with his. Like that would be more edifying to the world than him if he shit in on a plate and used it as a medium to pay payments on his wall. That's how useless it. That's how wasteful. That's how wasteful his attention is. He directs his attention toward the most wasteful things possible. And I just hope that at some point he can recover his dignity and he can stop playing a character, be a man and actually fight back and things like that.
Yeah, he definitely character, but like, does anybody really buy it? Maybe everybody on stage is actually just using him to like, get their little dopamine in a safe space.
People are in his room just because his rooms are. That's why people go there, because many go there. And to be honest, to sit in that room for more than 5 minutes, I'm losing brain cells. So anyone else that's in there for a long period of time, they're dumbasses, man. I can't sit in there for more than 5 minutes and listen to that fucking crap.
Where's your accent from?
United Kingdom.
London, New England, whatever.
No, Nottingham.
the land of the Lord, who stole from the rich and gave to the poor.
You guys are getting relegated. It's terrible.
Oh, I know. We've got these little fucking Abduls running around.
Fair enough. I hope you survive. God bless you.
Hello? T.A. Nahey?
You see how good the city of Robin Hood, the man that stole from the rich and gave
We
to
were
the
just
poor.
we were just making fun of Andrew
I
R.
remember as a kid.
Hello?
I remember as a kid in like I was
Hello?
like a kid in like a refugee camp, and I remember listening to like stories of Robin Hood. It gave me so much strength.
Yeah,
and it
we
gave me
were
so much
roasting
vision.
him, making fun of him.
You know, it made me proud to be a man. You know. And I don't think you people know this.
They got
in
another
Africa,
room
but
open
that
called
story
John
of Robin
Kitover,
Hood
candidate, mayor,
gave us
Chicago
so much
Libertarian.
kindness, so much strength. You have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it probably does. I mean, that's great, and it probably explains why the majority of women in Nottingham have more balls than actual men.
Probably true, but